Hello, boys and girls. We're going to do our third read of Dr. Seuss today. And remember that Dr. Seuss is a story written about somebody and that kind of story that's written about somebody that's true is called a biography. And biographies are written about important people or famous people. So this is George Washington. He was famous because he was our first president of our country, and he helped our country become a country by being a general in the army. And these people are important. There's astronauts who flew in the space shuttle, and there was a biography written about them that told about their lives. And this is Martin Luther King. He was important and famous because he risked his life to make things fair for everybody, and especially people that were of color, that were not white. He made it so the rules and laws were the same for them, and so he's important, and they wrote a biography about him. So biographies are about famous people, important people. And remember that authors write their stories for different reasons. Dr. Seuss wrote his to entertain kids, and Helen Lester, who's the author of this story, wrote her story, this story we're about to read, to inform us about Dr. Seuss. Okay, so today I'm going to read the book, and I encourage you to read along with me. You can put your fingers right where my fingers are on your screens and follow along as I read the text, and then I'll ask you a whole bunch of questions. Our test is going to be on Friday, and we have to know a lot about this book. And remember, when we can't answer questions, we can just always look back in the book. Except for you guys can't because you don't have books at home. You have to see them online. So name of the story is Dr. Seuss, and it's written by Helen Lester. Okay, are you ready with your fingers? Are you going to track the words with me? Here is Dr. Seuss. You can call him Ted. His mom and dad did. Ted was a funny man. Ted would draw pictures. Here is a fun picture. Ted would write too. Ted wrote the book, The Cat in the Hat. The Cat in the Hat was a big hit. Can you find the cat in the hat? Ted had many big hits after The Cat in the Hat. Kids like the Lorax a lot. Ted would write rhymes. Can you find some here? Splat, hat. Bell, smell. Sled, red. It was fun to hear Ted read. Now kids can see animals from his books. Dr. Seuss National Memorial Sculpture Garden. Dr. Seuss is still a big hit with kids today. Okay, boys and girls, on our third read, we're going to ask some questions, and today I want to do it a little bit different. I'll ask the questions and then I'll ask you to answer on your screen that I'm looking at with a 1, a 2, or a 3, depending on what the answer is. So for example, if I were to say Helen Lester is the illustrator, author, or editor of the book, I would have to hold up 2 fingers, right? Helen Lester is the author of the book. I think I'll actually put the numbers in front with verbally also. So we'll do it. It says this book is mostly about 1, Curious George, 2, The Cat in the Hat, or 3, a man named Dr. Seuss. This book is mostly about 3, a man named Dr. Seuss. Those of you that had 3 up, you were correct. A book that tells true information about someone's life, but it's written by someone else, is a 1, biography, 2, fiction, or 3, a fable. So a book that tells true information about someone's life is 1, a biography. Okay, next one. What did Dr. Seuss's mom and dad call him? 1, Fred, 2, Joe, or 3, Ted? They called him Ted. That was number 3. Those of you that had 3 up, you were right. Okay, next one. What was the name of Ted's first big hit? Was it The Lorax? That's number 1. Was it 2, The Cat in the Hat? Or was it 3, Horton Hatches an Egg? If you said the name of Ted's first big hit was 2, The Cat in the Hat, you were right. The Cat in the Hat was a big hit. It was his first one. Okay, number 6. What does it mean if something is a big hit? Does it mean 1, many people like it? 2, it is a home run? Or 3, it is a great movie? So in this story, what does a big hit mean? If you said 1, that many people like it, you were right. Good for you. Okay, so what was special about many of the words that Ted wrote? Number 1, they rhymed. Number 2, they were colorful. Or number 3, they didn't make sense. So what was special about the words that he wrote? If you said 1, they rhymed, you're right. You were listening. So now here's a question for you. Which word does not rhyme with cat? Hat. That's number 1. Bat. That's number 2. Can. That's number 3. Which one of those does not rhyme with cat? Hat, bat, or can? If you said 3, can, you're right. You guys are listening. Besides writing the words for his stories, Ted also, besides writing the words for his stories, he also 1, sang songs, 2, drew pictures, or 3, took photographs. So in his books, when he was writing his stories, what did he also do for his stories? Sing songs, draw pictures, or take photographs? He drew pictures. That was number 2. Good for you. Okay, how do the pictures in this story show that Ted was funny? So I'm looking at this picture, looking at these. How do the pictures show that he was funny? Is it 1, because they show baby animals? Two, because they show giants. Or three, because they show funny animals. So how do the pictures in this story show that Ted was funny? So the pictures were three. They show funny animals. So we know he's funny because he imagined funny animals. Okay, so where can you find sculptures of Dr. Seuss and his book characters? Where can you find sculptures? Oh my goodness. At Dr. Seuss National Memorial Sculpture Garden. 2. At the library. 3. In the White House. So where do you find these sculptures? If you said number 1, at Dr. Seuss National Memorial Sculpture Garden, you're correct. And how can you tell Dr. Seuss is still a big hit with kids? 1. Kids eat at his restaurant. 2. Kids visit him. Or 3. Kids still like reading his books. If you said that Dr. Seuss is still a big hit with kids because 3, kids still like reading his books, you were right. Okay, that's all. I hope you're ready for your test. Toodaloo!